Hey guys, I'm MikroTik Marc with Admiral platform for centralized MikroTik management, and today we're taking a look at the additional remote access capabilities of your Admiral dashboard. The additional remote access feature can be used for a variety of use cases. One of our users is able to securely access his VoIP system on the LAN of his MikroTik from the internet at any time by using this feature. Another one of my MSP users tells me he sets up all of his managed services with a MikroTik and uses the additional remote access to get access to the user interface of his on-premise security system. And countless other users leverage this tool to access SSH on something else on the MikroTik LAN, like a Cisco switch or really anything else. You can connect to SSH, a WebSocket API, or any other port and UI that you need. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use additional remote access for a couple of these use cases, starting with, what if I just want to access webfig on my managed MikroTik? Can I do that with Admiral? Of course you can. Webfig is just a couple of clicks away if you're already using the remote Winbox features of Admiral. Here's how. Head over to your router list, find the router you want to gain access to, and click the green wrench icon to edit it. Depending on your screen size, you may have to scroll to find the slider, but you're looking for the Enable Remote Access port. When you turn on this feature, you'll also get to pick what port you want to use. So for webfig, I'm either going to use 80 or 443 depending on whether I want HTTP or HTTPS. If you've moved your webfig to a different port in IP services, you'll want to use that port here. In my case, I want to get access to webfig on port 80, so you'll see I put in 80 here and hit update. In the firewall for your service, this will update to allow only your trusted IPs to access that newly created remote access port that you can see here under remote access. Now all I need to do is click to copy and put that in a new browser window. And there you go, I have access to webfig. How easy and cool is that? P.S. If you want to see which IPs have access to your account, head over to the Account Security section. Now let's take a look at a little more complex access. How about if I want to access the web UI of my ISP router that's connected to my MikroTik while I'm on the go? Hopefully you'll see with this example how to connect Admiral's remote access feature to any web UI. We're going to use many of the same buttons here, so first head over to router list and click the green wrench icon to get into the router settings. FYI, you could also get to that screen by clicking on router health, selecting the MikroTik you want, and heading over to the edit section. From here, it's the same deal. We're going to enable the additional remote access feature, but this time I'm going to change the port to something the managed MikroTik is connected to and can reach, but it won't be the managed MikroTik itself. In this example, I'm going to gain access to my ISP router's web UI, but keep in mind that you could use this feature to access a Cisco switch over SSH, a security system's native UI, maybe a VoIP system or its phone, or any other functionality that you'd like to gain access to that's adjacent to that MikroTik. Okay, in this case, I need to add a port forward and a remote access in order to get this to work. So first off, I'm going to pick an arbitrary port that I'm not using as a port forward on my MikroTik. In my case, I'm picking 9090 and hit update. The next thing I need to do is add a port forward for this MikroTik. So I head over to Extras, Port Forward, and hit an add. You'll see I don't have any port forwards for 9090, so I'm going to select the device that I would like to port forward to. In my case, I know my ISP's web UI lives at 192.168.1.254. I select the in interface of my remote Winbox VPN. In this case, I want to match up the mapping of port 9090 to my ISP router's web UI. So I'm going to take the desk port here of 9090 and translate that to 443. So what this rule says is that I will connect a port forward from my remote Winbox VPN 5 connection to my 192.168.1.254 ISP router's IP, and I'm going to translate the 9090 additional remote access to port 443. At this point, I can grab this URL, I'll click to copy it, and I'm going to open a new window, type in https://paste, and you'll notice that I get access to my ISP router web UI. Okay, in our last example, we're going to do the same thing except access another device's SSH instead of HTTPS, so that hopefully when you use this tool, you can see how to put the pieces together. In this case, I will use port 9191 to forward traffic to SSH on one of my other MikroTiks, which could also be a Cisco, Dell, or any other SSH-capable device. Again, I'll head over to Extras, Port Forwarding, and I need to add a port forward for 9191 to be able to reach my additional box. In this case, I'm going to select the EvanPC 952 because that's a MikroTik device that will respond to SSH. Once again, I'll pick my VPN interface as my in port. 9191 is what's coming in. And the port I want to go to on the MikroTik is 22, where it's running an IP service for SSH. Once again, I've added that port forward, so now I can use my additional remote access to access SSH. Again, I'm going to copy this, and I'll have to modify this just a little bit. I'm going to SSH to this address, but I'm going to remove the colon and put a -P for port. And you'll see here, we're getting access to SSH. I forgot to put the user on my first attempt here. So we're going to put the user SSH to this device. And you'll see there at the console, we're on EvanPC 952. As always, thank you for watching, and if you found this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe for more tips and how to use Admiral platform. Keep routing the world with MikroTik and managing your MikroTiks with Admiral. Have a great day.